Welcome to AUSL Softball as we come to you this evening from beautiful Hillsboro, Oregon, just outside of Portland. The beginning of a three-game series between the Chicago Bandits and the Portland Cascade. The Cascade, one of the two newbies,
so she can swing the bat.
And we are getting underway. Skylar Wallace will lead things off for the Bandits, this very potent lineup that leads the AUSL in so many categories, beginning with average most runs per game. And Skylar Wallace, part of the resurgence for this Chicago team, getting players like Skylar and several pitchers back from Japan, where they played in the Diamond League. And well, what a way to start it off for Wallace as she heads into second off of Sam Landry with a leadoff stand-up double. Talked about that potent lineup. Sammy Williams coming out leading the league, hitting .471 on the season already, 30 runs driven in, which is a new record, and she still has 7 games yet to go. Taryn Kern getting her first start since June 28th, will be playing first, but you got to keep an eye on number 7 for Chicago.
Well, what a great position to start this game. Skylar Wallace, a leadoff double, passing the bat to the hottest hitter in the league.
Sam Landry getting the start, 3-2 on the season.
Sam Landry, she's top 5 in the league in wins. She has been called upon a lot this season. You see the innings, you see the ERA. And one thing about Sam is she has such a good arsenal vertically. She'll work down, she'll work up. Just saw a changeup. She's going to use that pitch a lot against this hot-hitting Chicago team.
And what a way to get rid of the most dangerous hitter in the league right now, striking out Williams looking.
It's pretty simple. Drop ball away and stay out of the power alley for Sammy Williams, which we have seen. It's been on the inner half. And so I think we're going to see a lot of pitches to Sammy Williams on that outside part of the plate.
Now Mac Barber DPing. That's a foul ball.
So anytime you see a left-handed hitter at the plate like Mac Barbara, it brings in that screwball. A lot of rise ball as well, but it's all about that drop ball, and especially pitching in this league, it's so important to keep that ball down on the ground.
Wallace over there at second. Barbara stings it down the line. That will score Wallace easily, and Barbara trots into second. So a couple of doubles to get Chicago on top.
Well, Chicago's not at home, but this is the hottest team in the league. The best offense. They have won 7 in a row, and so here away from home, they're visitors, and I think that's huge. I'm guessing that they were very excited to bat first, just kind of keep the momentum going.
Morgan Zirkle hitting cleanup and playing center field comes up. These two teams did play each other at the end of June, beginning of July, and both times Portland was run ruled. They gave up 24 runs in 2 games. So they know all too well. Is it Taylor Swift reference for you?
Oh my gosh,
Ken's?
Pam! My
yes,
heart.
Yep. I mean, Chicago, since that series, have just been unstoppable, and Landry took one of those losses in that 2-game sweep. Zirkle into right field and over the fence. It hung in the air for a while, but Chicago just picking up where they left off.
What a statement here in the first inning from Chicago. 2 doubles and a home run. This is the 2nd home run of the season for the veteran Morgan Zirkle. Nobody has had more at-bats as a pro in this league than this hitter.
Well, Sammy Williams is the only batter that Landry has retired. Chicago leading the league, as we said, in so many categories, including doubles. They've hit 2 of them here in the first inning. So the bases are clear for Mary Jacopo, who has moved up to 5th in the order. Chicago without the services now of Aaron Koffel, their very talented shortstop, who has a lower body injury and is going to miss the rest of the season. And tonight, Bella Dayton, who is their usual left fielder, is out, a little bit under the weather. So the lineup looking a little bit different than what we're used to with Chicago. Andrew pulling the string on that pitch. And we look out and we see that there is some activity already in the Portland bullpen. There's the numbers for Jacopo this season. And she gets a look at a 3-1 pitch, takes it high to get on base. Let's go back to Zirkel's home run.
That was a big swing, and you could see her barrel drop, anticipating that drop ball from Sam Landry and the elevation. So when you're facing a drop ball pitcher as a hitter, I am looking at the bottom half of the ball, and that's where I want to drop my barrel to. And I'm sure that's the conversation that Morgan Zirkel is having right there in the dugout.
And Zirkel, as you mentioned, such a veteran, has been playing pro ball in a variety of different places since she graduated from Marshall University, where she is now the head coach. Here's Bree Copeland, activated last week. Selected from the reserve pool for that home series against Texas, with Taylor McQuillan hitting the injured list. And here she is starting and playing in left field tonight, with Dayton not available. And Morgan Zirkel with that home run. She's standing by with Savannah Collins.
Look what you on my.
Is she talking? We can't hear her.
Zirk, early in the game, and you're able to jump on it. What was your plan to be able to have success so early?
We knew we were, going to see a lot of drop balls, and that's something I really got to think about. But after hitting the machine a lot, drop ball, I was underneath and on time for that. So
that'll do it. Thanks, Zirk. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And so Morgan Zirkel with the 2-run home run. And Taryn Kern out of Stanford, making her first start since June 28th. We saw her as a pinch runner in the Texas series. Kern went to Stanford after 1 year at Indiana, where she played for Bandits head coach Sean DeStanton. As did Bree Copeland, who we just saw strike out.
And of course, Morgan Zirkel, who hit that 2-run home run. So 3 individuals on this team that played for their head coach. Pretty cool stat.
Kern puts a charge into that one, and another home run for the Bandits. Second home run of the inning, 4th extra base hit. And Sam Landry can just shake her head.
Well, welcome back to the lineup, Taryn Kern, the rookie. Pam, you talked about her last start was back on June 28th, and so your name is called and you're ready for the moment. This is her first professional home run. Yeah, I love to see the emotion. 2-out magic for Chicago, and that is what is making this team so special right now. It's anybody. Yes, it's the usual suspects of Morgan Zirkle, but yes, a couple of injuries. You bring in a Bree Copeland, you bring in a Taryn Kern, who really hasn't seen a ton of action as of late, and they are still going and still swinging it.
And we are going to have a new pitcher, Sam Landry, lasting just stinger.
We were just talking about Taryn's approach to hit her first pro home run. I really want to talk about the celebrations and the time you spent out of the lineup to have results today. How gratifying is that?
So gratifying, worth the wait. You know, this team is amazing. We have amazing hitters, and it's great to learn from them and just be in the lineup today. So I'm excited.
Well, I know it's kind of a first inning rally, and you got the hat on, so I'll let you get this momentum going in the dugout. Thanks, Taryn.
Thank you.
Kelly Maxwell in the game after Sam Landry did retire 2 batters, both with strikeouts, but a couple of doubles, a walk, a couple of home runs. And the weird thing about that is all season long, Sam Landry, in her 8 appearances and just over 28 innings of pitching, had given up 1 home run all year, and here she is giving up 2 in the first inning.
Now you can see the frustration, not the start that she wanted.
Faced them again just a few weeks ago in Chicago and got chased in a run rule loss. Here's Jessica Clements, the 8th Bandit to hit in the first inning. Clements, a rookie. He's a senior at UCLA last year, but did not play in the league. Last year, meaning 2025. So Maxwell coming in. What do you think her mindset must be?
Throw strikes and do not look at the scoreboard. Your job is just to reset.
That's on the ground to Sinicki. Maxwell does her job to get the final out, but 5 runs occurring with home runs in the top of the first. You were a great pitcher, Kenzie Fowler. How did it feel to come up, to go out in the hill in the first inning with a 5-run lead?
Yeah, it's the best. And you're just waiting for your turn, and usually the first inning is the time where you're going to have all of their adrenaline, and sometimes that first inning can be a little rocky for pitchers. So when you're a veteran like Lexi Kilfoyle and you're headed out to the circle, you look out at the scoreboard, oh, I can really settle in a lot quicker and not have to be so careful.
And Corby Otis leading things off. She is leading the Cascade in hitting, 333 on the season. Megan Grant, the big home run hitter, looms on deck. Corby Otis has hits in 5 of her last 10 at-bats. It's really taken off since taking over the leadoff role.
One thing about Lexi Kilfoyle is she's going to throw strikes. Look at that ERA. That is a league best. 4 wins, 1 save.
One of those wins came against Portland when they played in Chicago a few weeks ago. But she is having a spectacular year, leading the league with a .60 ERA. One hop, Agbayani, really good second baseman, retires Otis to start things off. Let's take a look at the defense behind Kilfoyle. Skylar Wallace playing shortstop with Koffel out. Sammy Williams very good over there on the left side. Zirkle covers a lot of ground out in center, and Jacopo very good at managing pitchers behind the plate. But here's Megan Grant. She has 11 hits this season. 7 of them for home runs. So you look at her average, it's only 250. But when she gets a hold of one, it travels. 42 home runs for UCLA in her senior season. thing there was a screen there.
Well, and you think about how much Megan Grant has been walked. She has 13 walks on the season. That's a ton, especially for a rookie, but it's just because of the home run power that everyone knows that she has. Your team is up 5. I'm not walking you. I'm going right at you.
She's behind Kilfoyle 1 and 2. Sends that into short left field. Wallace had a good read on it for the second out. As Megan Grant has been walked more than she has base hits on the season. Quick 2 outs for Kinley Cahalan. Another rookie on this squad as Kilfoyle delivers high. Got a golden ticket in her season, senior season at Florida after starting out at Alabama.
And she's worked her way up into this lineup, now in the 3 spot. If you look back at week 1, week 2 of the season, she was down at the bottom in the 8-hole, 7-hole. She has swung a hot bat as of late.
Yeah, Portland as a team struggling. They have a team batting average of just .226, which is dead last in the 6-team league. Second last only to Texas as far as runs scored. And here they are facing the best pitcher this year, and it's been Kilfoyle.
Well, and so that number, because of the stats that you just said, that number for Chicago with 5 in the first inning feels really big.
Yeah. Portland has not put together a lot of crooked numbers in innings, certainly not in games.
And they've kind of been a team based, obviously, around their pitching. They have some just horses in the circle. They have great defense, and to me, they're a team that just has that clutch hitting, where they feel very comfortable in a tight ball game late, but they just have not put up big numbers like we've seen from Chicago or even some other teams. I'm thinking of the Spark. That's a home run hitting team that has put up some really crooked numbers this season. That has not been the Cascades' MO this season. It has been win the close ball game and let's have the pitching lead the way.
Again, both teams here with identical 11-7 records. That's a strikeout for Kilfoyle. So a ground out, a pop-up, and a strikeout. Good first inning for Kilfoyle, up 5.
Be 11-7 today. Coach Stanton talked about how they've been able to win a lot of different ways, moving Morgan Zirkle from the leadoff spot now into the 4-hole. Skylar Wallace is now their table setter, and we're seeing the way that this offense is evolving over time. They can get it done with small ball. They've got the long ball too. It seems like one of those teams, she's okay with looking ahead to the postseason as long as you are playing on the day-to-day like a champion. You might as well think like one, too.
Well, you think about how they started the season. Savannah was just talking about how it was an 0-4 start, and to me, the Bandits, I think, were missing maybe the most out of all of the teams that had some of their stars in Japan, and it was just kind of a waiting game. Will they return? Yes, we know they're going to return, but when they return, where are we going to be in the standings?
Agbayani gets the bunt down. Maxwell fielded it nicely, and that's a good pickup over there by Vidalis at first to retire Agbayani, who is one of the best bunters in the league.
Now, this is a really nice play from Kelly Maxwell. She's a lefty, so a little bit uncomfortable. You have to spin and turn and have your throw on the money, and all the meanwhile, Ailana Agbayani, she's scooting down the line. But erasing that 9-hole is so key because this is the big bats. And for the second time, Skylar Wallace and then Sammy Williams on deck.
Yeah, the first time through the lineup was lethal. Chicago getting 5 runs on 4 hits, 2 doubles and 2 home runs off of departed starter Sam Landry. Well, Maxwell has retired the first 2 batters she has faced, but this is the scary part. With Wallace leading off, she started the game with a double. One of those players who came back from Japan. And the luxury that Chicago has with Kouffel's injury, which very unfortunate, but Wallace with a lot of experience at shortstop, so they could just plug her in. Three 3-0, taking all the way. It gets in there for a strike. Don Brown behind the plate tonight. Lyndon Baptiste at first, Scott Mayer at third, our umpiring crew this evening. Hitters count for Wallace, who fouls it.
A lot of room down the line.
Yes, this is a former minor league baseball park. The brand new one, or the new one, is literally, I mean, you could throw a softball and hit that park. Or you could throw a softball and hit that park, Kenzie.
Do you need a warm-up first?
I need a whole new body first. But it's really a nice, I love this park. It looks perfect for softball. Full count from 3-0, and Wallace works Maxwell for a walk.
I didn't know that anybody else but me, it's something I do all the time, is I measure things, and if I could throw a softball and it hit it. So the fact that you just said that made me so happy, because I say that all the time. I'm like, I could probably hit it with a softball. That's how close it is.
Okay, so that is your preferred
yes, measurement.
Instrument of measurement.
Yep.
Okay.
Whether I can hit it or I could throw it. But to be honest, I could probably throw it as far as I could hit it nowadays. So.
No, I have all the confidence in the world you could hit the ballpark next to us.
Underhand for sure.
Sammy Williams. Boy, right on that after striking out against Landry, and takes the first pitch into left field for the first, or the second out of the second. And Maxwell getting Williams, who has cooled off a bit since hitting a game-winning walk-off home run against Texas last weekend in an 8-inning game that Kilfoyle went the distance in. Matt Barbara in the air, grabbed by Grant, so the one-out walk does no damage.
In Oklahoma, like, you just don't know what could happen. You've got to make moves right now, and so every single game is much watched television, as if it wasn't before, but it means so much right now with only so many games left in our season. The postseason is right around the corner. So I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying every single pitch right now matters.
Sidney Stewart leading things off. Rookie out of a school by the name of the University of Arizona. Big 12 Player of the Year.
Can I get a bear down?
She was an All-American, bearing down there in Tucson.
Yeah.
Kilfoyle. One out.
Lexi Kilfoyle, she is just a master of the ground ball. Yes, she'll get those strikeouts, but she is so comfortable getting outs like this. And I love to see a pitcher fielding her own position over 6 feet tall, just calm, cool, and collected.
Making it look easy, that's for sure. Kendra Falvey up for the first time. Outstanding defensive player. And we see the corners, Sammy Williams at third and Taryn Kern at first, cheating in. Falvey has started every game this season.
Well, you could see Kendra, she was checking the corners. She was checking Taryn Kern and Sammy Williams, because she can change what she wants to do pitch to pitch. Swing away, show bunt, slap.
Takes a 3-0 pitch, and we're going to have Kendra mic'd up a little bit later on. Chance to chat with her. Cascade still looking for their first base runner. from 3-0 to a full count. Handled by Williams. Couple of ground balls, 2 away.
And not even through 6 batters, and half of those batters have been ground ball outs. That is how you have to solve Lexi Kilfoyle. How do you get rid of the ground ball?
How do you get rid of the ground ball?
Well, you have to do something really drastic. So you're either going to move to the very back of the box and force Lexi to bring it up in the zone. You can also move to the very front of the box and try and cut down on that movement. The only problem is when you move to the front of the box, she's already throwing 68, 69, 70 miles an hour. So now that's going to turn into a really small reaction time. But if you want to get rid of the movement, that's your chance to do it. And then visually, as a hitter, you have to be very comfortable swinging in a plane where your brain is not thinking that's where the ball's going to be. So you almost have to trick yourself. Like, you see it so quickly, now I have to swing even lower than what my brain thinks it is.
That's a lot to process.
It's why she's dominant.
Yes.
So not only does she get the movement, like I have TrackMan next to myself and I'm watching her vertical break, and sometimes the vertical break on Lexi's drop ball is a foot.
Wow.
And she's throwing high 60s.
Behind 3-0 to her second straight batter. That goes in there.
And she won't even throw you a rise ball. It is down zone, go get it. Challenge up. 50% of that drop ball.
And Kilfoyle proves she is human. Walking Sacco Ferry, that is the first base runner for the Cascade. After Kilfoyle set down 5 straight, 4 via the ground ball. The other was a strikeout. Kennedy Powell trying to get something done with 2 outs. The Cascade, let's just say they're not a team that likes to run a lot. The Bandits lead the league in stolen bases. The Cascade have a grand total of 2 in the entire season. 2 out of 6.
Well, right now, Lexi Kilfoyle, yeah, you see the called timeout from Lexi herself, and I love that because that's just a pitcher. I can feel it up here in the booth, so she's got to be feeling it. I need a moment because the misses, of course, Sacco Ferry, that's a 2-out walk. That's kind of a no-no as a veteran. And then the last 2 misses against Kennedy Powell, way out of the strike zone.
Yeah, the last 3 batters, right? She went 3-0 to both Falby and Sacco Ferry, and now 2-0 to Powell. Skylar Wallace, one of the leaders on this team, hanging around for the last couple of seconds for some words with Kilfoyle. And that was one of the things that the Bandits people say they really miss with Skylar being gone, was that leadership quality when she was playing in Japan.
And so you're directing traffic with the runner at first base.
Williams playing in at third. Magdayani makes it look easy to retire Powell. Cascade strand a runner down 5-0 as we head to the third. Up while she is playing center field. There she is, number 27 in your program, number 1 in your heart. Kendra, thanks for doing this. How has your rookie season been so far as you've moved your way up the lineup?
Amazing. Honestly, like being in Portland, like being a Tampa, Florida kid, I was like, okay, this is a long way from home. I didn't go too far in college, so I was curious. Fans are awesome. I'm just happy to be here.
Kendra, first question for me. Did you eat Carrabba's last night?
What did I have for dinner last night? No, but I found pasta at where we went.
Okay, so explain to those who don't know your superstition what you have to eat the night before a series.
So I've done it ever since I was a freshman in college, and I eat pasta. I went to Carrabba's before every single series. That was my little superstition. I went by myself, sat at the same table every single time, and that was just how I got ready. And everybody knows, and I love it, and I continue to do it in pro too.
Thank you so much. I love it. So the fact that you found a good spot here in Portland, I'm guessing?
I haven't found a Italian spot. People have given me some.
Okay.
I need to take that into consideration more.
Okay.
But you know, life is crazy, so you just kind of find pasta wherever you can. So I'm a good sport when it comes to it. As long as I eat some sort of pasta, I'm good.
Love it. Well, speaking of life being a little crazy, how about Lexi being on the other side, right? You guys are like besties growing up.
I know.
Tell us about your history with Lexi Kilfoyle, who is our starting pitcher on the other side of Kendra's team.
Oh yeah, we've been hanging out since we were in diapers. So her mom is my sister's godmother. So that just goes to show how long I eat every Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner with her. So it's just crazy being on the mountain, her being on the mountain now, because it's like such a full circle moment. It was the same in college, and now we get to say that we get to do it in pro. So, you know, it's always that talk at Thanksgiving dinner, like, oh, thanks.
I don't know, what is it like for your family when you guys are facing each other?
Healthy competition.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Like, got any inside jokes or anything?
Inside jokes. Gosh, we always used to do this like Thanksgiving home run derby. And like, if you know, like you see Lexi, like she's tall, her whole family's tall. So you got like little old me going up there. I'm like, all right, I'm about to hit this home run. And then they're just mashing balls over the plate. So it's fun. It's super fun. I love her. She's the best. And it's so fun competing with her. And it was super cool because she picked me for All-Star Cup last year. So I got to play with her. That was like my first pro debut. And she picked me and she put me in right. And I was just like, oh, I love her.
Well, I mean, you've got to thank her for a little bit, but also you did it yourself, because I feel like when you came into the All-Star Cup, like you were on fire. So maybe a little help from Lexi, like just get me in this league, give me a shot, let me show what I can do. And she believes in you.
She does. And it was the best feeling ever, just having someone that you've known forever and just believing in you, and then just giving me that confidence, and then also just introducing me to so many awesome people in the league. Like, it was so great, because now I have friends that I played on with that team that are still my friends now. So super grateful for her.
Kendra, I also want to ask you about your jersey number. 27 when I was growing up was Jenny Finch, right? Yeah. I was 10 years old. I grew up in Tucson. There was one player that wore 27. It was the greatest at the time, and she's still a GOAT, obviously. But why are you number 27?
So I was number 27 because my dad played hockey growing up, and he is number 7, and I was like kind of the second 7 of the family. So that's how I came up with 27, and then my birthday's January 27th. So it kind of all just fell together.
I love it.
Your dad played hockey growing up because he's from Toronto, right?
Yep, Toronto, Canada.
How's your hockey game going?
So when we went to Canada, I was like little. Like, we always used to drive up there and stuff.
From Florida?
Yeah, from Florida. Believe it or not. If you think about it, though, it's nice because you can stop on the way up. So, like, we would stop in Tennessee in the mountains. We would stop in New York. My mom's from New Jersey, so we got to see family there. So it was kind of like a big road trip that we would do all the way up to Canada. And they surprised us one time with tickets, or not tickets, but just to go to Canada during the snow. Florida kid, I've never seen snow in my life. Well, we end up there when there's like a blizzard, like a huge blizzard. So they freeze, the ice is frozen over, they put water on it. I go out there, I think I'm gonna be able to skate. I'm literally Bambi on ice. My dad is skating circles around me. And like, this was only like, probably like less than 10 years ago. So my dad, he still got it.
Incredible.
Is that the first and last time you've tried it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, why would I embarrass myself again? I'm like, you want to go a foot race to first base? Let's do that instead. Yeah, Corb. Yes, good job, Corby.
Corby Otis retires Jacopo. So a rough first inning for your team, but Kelly Maxwell's come in here, Kendra, and look good.
Yes, so happy for her. She's been working so hard, and you know, like, softball's such a tough sport, so you go through the hills and valleys, and just working with her and how hard she's been working, I'm super happy for her right now.
Well, of course, Corby just making that play. There's a lot of Florida flavor on the field in both dugouts. So can you just kind of quickly, I know we have 2 outs, but quickly tell us who on both sides of the field have you played with?
I've played with Corby, I've played with Kenley at shortstop, Jossie, I've played with Skylar. Did I cover everybody?
I think those are all the Florida players, So is it so much fun to meet back up? And
yes, and also Erin Koffel, she was a GA at Florida. So I got to train with her when I was also a GA there too, and then she was there my senior year. So I never played with her, but a lot of Gators, and then having Corby next to me is awesome because it feels like we're Bluetooth synced up. I don't have to really relearn anything with her.
You guys were like that when you were in college, and so now we're seeing that again in the pros.
Oh yeah, she knows how I tick. I know how she ticks. We work really, really well together, and it's awesome.
Tell us the story about how Coach Walton was getting on you two about your communication.
Yeah, it was actually when I was a GA, so like I would practice with the team and so would Corby, and we're in the outfield, and Coach Walton's like, "That's where you say get out," and Corby looks at me and she goes, "We don't need to say that. We're Bluetooth synced up. I know you were going to catch that the whole time."
That's so good.
I don't know if Coach Walton knows that, though. So, Coach Walton, if you hear that, sorry.
Like, Coach, we had it the whole time. You don't even need to worry. And we have it now here in the pros. Like, we get to see you guys work in the outfield together. It's been so much fun.
So much fun.
Kendra, last one for me is that you are currently in fashion school, correct?
I am.
Okay, so tell us what you want to do and why you are in fashion school.
Yeah, I've always just loved clothes and styling. We always used to do drip walks at Florida on like not big weekends, but like SEC series. And I just love throwing a good outfit together. And in a perfect world, I would become a stylist for athletes and sign them or help them find an outfit for ESPYs, all those fun big Super Bowl parties, like stuff like that. Like I just want to style athletes for their drip walks and all of that. So I'm currently in styling school and I love it. And I'm making like Pinterest fashion boards and stuff. Like it's so my thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's so cool. Well, would you give us a little breakdown on what you think of the new Cascade uniforms? This is year one.
So listen, I've been trying for these uniforms the whole season now. And finally today, the vets looked and they're like, "You know what, Kendra, we're going to wear that uniform." And I'm like, yes! So I'm really happy. And the strikeout.
2 strikeouts for Maxwell in that inning. Kendra Falvey, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Maxwell mowing him down since she came in. Thanks to Kendra.
I brought my mom with me because I knew it was going to be amazing weather, and living in Arizona, I was like, let's go, Mom. We're going to go up to the Pacific Northwest, and we got up early and went down to Cannon Beach, and I had never been there, and like seeing Haystack Rock was, I've seen the pictures, and I think it's in the Goonies, the movie, so I wanted to see it in person. It was amazing. It took my breath away.
Absolutely a beautiful part of the country and so different from Tucson.
Very different.
Yeah,
I do love myself.
Here.
I love the desert, okay? I love a saguaro. I love the saguaro green.
I don't know what that means.
A cactus, Pam.
Oh, okay. I know that word. Tori Vidalis hitting to lead things off here in the third inning. Tori hitting just 122 on the year, just 1 hit in her last 26 at-bats. And she's facing the best pitcher in the league in Lexi Kilfoyle. Kilfoyle has yet to give up a hit, did give up a walk through quite a few pitches in that second inning. And she's ahead of Vidalis 0-2. Into right field, but Clements was positioned perfectly for the first out of the third. And now Paige Sinicki coming up, making her second start of the season, and one of the great stories, not just in softball, but in all of sports, as she was diagnosed back in November with stage 2 breast cancer. And here she is back playing and getting the first hit of the night for Portland.
Well, this is also the in-state girl, right? This is an Oregon alum, so she's got everyone pulling for her, and they've been waiting for her debut. First hit of the season, first hit of the game for Cascade, and doing exactly what she's in this lineup to do. Turn that lineup over in that 9 spot, and she has great speed over at first base as well.
Corby Otis batting for the second time, grounded out against Kilfoyle, and Sinicki is in the lineup because Sis Bates has been placed on a 7-day injured list. Upper body injury a couple of games ago. Sinicki came in to finish out at second base in that game and is now starting her second straight game for the Cascade. Sis Bates, one of the best second basemen, the best middle infielders you'd ever want to see. Was great at Washington, same in the pros. She's nursing an injury herself.
Well, it's like you trade one Pac-12 defensive player for another. So Sis was Pac-12 defensive player for a couple of seasons. Well, so was Paige Sinicki. What a luxury. And just the timing of everything, right? That Paige comes back when she does, the day that she comes back. Unfortunate for Sis, but Sis is injured. And so, okay, Paige, it's go time. This is the moment that you've been waiting for.
Yes, Sis Bates was the inaugural defensive MVP back in 2022. In one of the previous iterations of Athletes Unlimited softball. Full count to Otis. Wallace able to charge nicely to get Otis, but Sinicki is now over at second as we head down to Savannah.
Well, it has been so special to see how this team has rallied for one another, not just on the field, but in life. Sis Bates being there for Paige Sinicki while she battled cancer, because Sis has been going through that with her mom throughout the course of the last year. And then Sam Landry stepping up for Sis Bates, spending time crocheting. It's her new hobby that she's taken on throughout the course of this season. You can see some of the things that Sam has crocheted for Sis, and that teddy bear that she made has Sis's mom's voice in it, a recording to her that she'll always have. It is so special to be with this Cascade team and just hear about the way that they are there for each other outside of softball, the life stuff, the hard stuff. And the way this team has so much fun in the dugout, man, does it carry off the field to really being true friends.
That's so important. Sis Bates' mom, Michelle, going through her own battle with cancer. And as you mentioned, Savannah, just the line that keeps going. And Sinicki dealing with that herself as a 22-year-old. And that's one of the first things I heard about this Cascade team. First time I've had the opportunity to call them is just what Savannah was talking about, just how close they are, that they rally around each other. First-year franchise, a true expansion team. That is hammered with foul down the right field line by Megan Grant.
I think there's 4 rookies in this lineup. Of course, Megan Grant, the headliner, right, was finalist for Player of the Year this season with UCLA, but I think it was so important because Portland knew they were going to have a very young team, and especially being new to the league, so they're young kind of all the way around. And they're still continuing their traditions, but it was very key that this team started with culture first, and then we'll figure out the rest. Let's get to know each other. We have a lot of, heaviness at the start of the season because they were missing Paige. They were missing one of their key members.
Grant pops up. Jacopo got rid of the mask to retire Megan Grant and strand Sinicki, who just got the first hit of the game for Portland, but they're down 5-0 after 3. Montreal leading the East Division with just 1 loss so far on the season. We are here in Hillsboro, Oregon. Chicago with 5 runs in the first, but Kelly Maxwell has come in out of the pen and kept them in check. A very difficult thing to do against the best offense in the league.
And this is a good sign for Portland to see this kind of performance from Kelly Maxwell, because we all know what kind of talent she has, but last couple of outings it's been a little bit rough just for her standards. An All-American from Oklahoma, a national champion. And especially, I love the matchup right now between Kelly Maxwell and all of these left-handed hitters in the lineup for Chicago. There's 6 of them.
And that's one of the things that Chicago has over most of the teams in the league, all those left-handed bats, including Taryn Kern, making her first start since the end of June. And in her first at-bat, she hit a 2-run home run off Sam Landry, who was lifted right after that last pitch. Kelly Maxwell, first-round pick in the allocation draft this season. Kern stings it foul down the right field line. Another sellout. Every single home game for the Portland Cascade has been sold out. Very comfortable park. And just a beautiful evening as it starts to cool down. You're probably cold here, right?
You know, a little bit.
Got up in the mid-80s today.
Got my jacket out.
Going into the 50s tonight. We might have to get you a parka.
Yep, I'll get a beanie.
2-2 pitch. Maxwell. Back-to-back strikeouts. 3 of the last 4 batters she's faced, she has struck out.
I'll watch this changeup. The off-speed here from Kelly Maxwell just drift over, and I love the fact that Sydney Stewart did not give up on this pitch. Just because she was set up on the outer half, that ball kind of drifts over that inner half, and she framed it up so nicely.
Jessica Clements was the first batter that Maxwell faced back in the first inning, and she grounded out to Sinicki at second. This time, up in the air, and Stewart couldn't get through the umpire to have a chance to make a play at the ball. Sydney Stewart, a rookie herself, as the sun starts to set.
Jessica Clements, she thinks that she's been hit. She thinks that hit her.
She threw her bat down, or tossed her bat away, I should say, and was about to take her bat.
The ruling on the field, the batter was not hit by pitch. The Bandits is challenging that ruling. The play is under further review.
Okay, so both teams get 2 challenges per game, and whether you're right or wrong, you just get the 2, and they have decided to challenge, saying that Clements was hit by the pitch, and she must have told her head coach that in order to initiate the challenge. Look at the foot.
Yeah, I see it hit her foot. Barely. It's at the very bottom of the frame. And it's also the reaction, too, right away. It has to be conclusive video evidence.
Agbayani on the right side of your screen waits on deck. Here we go again.
I could definitely see the shoelace move. So that is where I'm at. I see her back foot shoelace move. And I feel confident in what I saw.
And I feel confident that that other angle wasn't as good.
Yeah.
And again, it has to be conclusive to overturn it.
The field's going to stand. No hit batter. Stand.
As we wait for Don Brown's verdict, which will be delivered by Lyndon Baptiste.
After review, the call field stands. The batter was not hit by pitch.
All right, so Jessica Clements comes back. Chicago with 1 challenge left. Portland with 2. Under fuzzy.
Well, this is tough for everyone because that was a lengthy delay. Jessica Clements, her headspace, she has to relock back in. She's thinking that she is going to be on first base. She's called back.
Backhanded by Sinicki, but she can't come up with it cleanly. Clements reaches with one away.
That feels good for Jessica Clements because you feel like maybe you wasted a team's challenge. She was very firm with her coach, like, yes, that hit me. And then you go to the video review and it's not ruled in your favor. So you're like, man, that was tough because I was thinking I should be at first base. Let me earn my way there.
She got there. It was a tough play for Sinicki trying to get it on the backhand. Sinicki has been charged with an error. First error of the game for either team. And now Agbayani, who is riding a 7-game hitting streak during that time, 9 for 19 at the plate. Been very good at setting the table for the top of the order. Able to play the short game really well. Popped up, Maxwell has it, throws over, safe. Let's see if Portland wants to challenge that. That was close.
A 1-1 count here with Jessica Clements at first base. Kelly Maxwell popping out. Yeah, safe. I think that's the right call.
Agbayani leading the league in sacrifice bunts, but got that one up in the air. 2 away for Wallace, who has doubled and walked. Double to lead off the game against Sam Landry as Maxwell delivers another strike. Maxwell doing a really good job of keeping the Bandits down. Only 1 ball has left the infield since she came in. Here's the second one, and that's a base hit. Clements stays put at second on Wallace's second hit of the night.
Man, that was smoked by Skylar Wallace. She is just such a strong athlete. I'm looking at the exit velocity on that single, 80. An 80 exit velocity on a single.
And now Sammy Williams, who has not looked like herself in the last couple of games. Don't want to use the S word, slump, but for Sammy it is.
Yeah.
Because she was on a ridiculous tear and now is just 1 for her last 11 since that walk-off home run to beat Texas last week. And she's down 0-2. Sammy Williams coming into this game still leading the league in hitting, but down to 471. She was up around 520 something, some ridiculous number. RBIs, that is a new single season record, breaking Erin Koffel's record, her teammate, that Erin set last year. That's the way to break out of it for Williams. It goes down the line, the 3rd double of the game for Chicago as Clements crosses the plate with run number 6.
Yeah, that's gonna feel so good for Sammy Williams. And this is so tough for Kelly Maxwell to lose this to one of the best hitters in the league. She got ahead of her 0-2. Goes to the off speed, but it was just a little bit too over the heart of the plate for Sammy Williams, who has such great plate coverage, driving that ball down the line.
Threat not over yet. 2 in scoring position for Mac Barbara. That double for Williams, her 9th of the year, which is the most for any player in the league. There you see a new single season record, and there's still games to go.
Oh yeah. She's rewriting the record books and chasing some history.
Barbara has been quite the pickup for the Bandits after she went undrafted out of Texas A&M. Maxwell can end it, and does. But another run crosses the plate next to Sammy Williams' record-breaking RBI double, and that extends the lead to 6-0.
Everyone's loving my idea to add stuffed crust to our best deal ever for the same price.
Oh, it's crazy.
Financially irresponsible.
Well, not everyone.
Get any toppings on any pizza, now including stuffed crust for just $9.99.
Dom, my nose.
Harbor Freight Tools are working hard in Nico's one-man shop in Illinois. He demands affordable tools that don't quit because he never quits. Harbor Freight, built for tool people. This weekend, get a free 5-gallon bucket when you spend $29.99 in store.
When you give someone your word, you keep it. When you guarantee you'll be there, you show up. When you pledge to protect someone, you do it. Over 100 years ago, a group of soldiers made those promises when they started USAA. And today, we're still taking care of those who served, their spouses, kids, and then grandkids, because we're doing more than insurance and banking. USAA, taking care of our own.
Ball skips really fast off the curve, don't it? Oh. I got that inside. I got straight chalk, complete chalk. Pretty close, yes ma'am. You're good. Yep. Real good. I mean, it's harder. But harder? Man. We're good. Taught my whole life. I know exactly what you mean. So it happens. Here we go.
Home plate Don Brown, home plate umpire Don Brown. Yeah, those guys we talk about catchers getting nicked up. Same for the umpires.
I love the insight to the catcher home plate umpire relationship, because you can always see them physically chit-chatting, and so I'm sure everyone at home always wondering, what are they talking about? What are they? We can be having a conversation in the middle of the game, and you could hear Sydney Stewart asking our home plate umpire, a little bit in, or you want it more up? And I just love the chit-chat back and forth and talking ball.
Lexi Kilfoyle going out now with a 6-run lead as we hit the bottom of the 4th inning. Cahalan, Stewart, and Falby all due up. Just one hit so far for Portland. That dribbles foul. Again, Taryn Kern playing first base. Jocelyn Erickson has been playing some first base for Chicago. She is unavailable tonight. Already told you Bella Dayton not feeling well, so she's out tonight. And Aaron Koffel, unfortunately, out for the rest of the season. And Chicago piecing together this lineup this evening. There's Taryn, who celebrated starting for the first time in a couple of weeks with a home run in her first at-bat.
Yeah, back with a bang. It's a good take.
Yeah, we've seen Kilfoyle in the last couple of innings now going deep into counts. So far has only surrendered 1 walk and 1 hit, and that was a bunt single. She's closing in on 60 pitches. Pitch number 7 in this at bat.
Well, you just think about for Kenleigh Cahalan, who's in the 3-hole for Portland. This is just her second bat here at bat in the 4th inning against Lexi Kilfoyle. And you look at the other side for Chicago, Skylar Wallace, the leadoff, that was her 3rd at bat that she just had in her single in the top of this inning. So that's just really tough. You're talking about you're wanting to get on a roll and let's find our rhythm. Well, it's hard to find your rhythm when you're only having your second at bat in the middle of the game and the other team is already 3 times through.
Full count pitch on the way to Cahalan. Went up and that got a piece of her helmet, it looked like. So a strikeout.
Well, the good news is you saw a little wry smile there, so she is okay, but yeah, that was a swing with a full count, so that is strike 3.
Yep, did not get a piece of the ball. As you see, it actually hit her in her left shoulder. So a painful way to strike out for Cahalan. And only the 2nd strikeout for Kilfoyle. That was nice.
Yeah, dropping it down to 50 miles an hour when you're consistently in the upper 60s. So you're looking at a 18 to 20 mile an hour speed differential. Talk about pulling the string.
Lotus Stewart, who was retired on a comebacker to Kilfoyle and her only at bat. Stewart ends the shutout with the home run. Her 2nd of the season. And Portland gets on the board.
And she's given this sold-out crowd here in Portland something to celebrate. Look at her go up to get this pitch. The 2nd home run for this rookie, but her 1st home run at her home ballpark. You can see everyone in the stands getting on their feet. Yeah, a little life here for Portland. This was huge.
Yeah, this sold-out crowd has been just waiting to have something to cheer about, and Stewart gives it to them. As Falvey comes up, that, by the way, is the 1st home run that Kilfoyle has given up all season. She has been terrific. Best ERA in the league, lowest batting average against, and now she's given up back-to-back hits. Falvey stings one past the glove of Wallace, and now the crowd's getting into it.
I love the emotion. Just a little momentum here.
Now a conference in the circle. Kilfoyle struck out Cahalan to start the inning, got ahead of Stewart 0-2. And then a home run and a single. Sydney Stewart with the home run. Here she is with Savannah.
Sydney, you're bringing this crowd to their feet. How crucial was that to kind of get this offense going? Some momentum that we're starting to feel here in Portland.
I think really like utilizing the energy that we have from our crowd. We have a really special crowd, and there's a lot of game left, so just getting our team going and knowing that we're not done yet. So
Kinsey Fowler mentioned it. You went up to get that pitch. Was that a part of the plan, or what was it about that ball you said, I'm going to get my hands to it?
See something elevated off this pitcher. You know, she's a drop ball pitcher. She has really good movement, but I know my power pitches and what I'm good at, so just really utilizing that plan and sticking to it.
Thanks, Sydney. Appreciate it.
Good at bat for Stewart, again, who fell behind 0-2 in that at bat. And this happened.
Well, she's so strong. So, yes, you heard her talk about facing Lexi Kilfoyle, knowing that she's a zone-down pitcher. But if you see a cookie, go get it. And she knows her bat speed because of how strong she is. I have 2 strikes, so what? I see it over the heart of the plate. I see it in my wheelhouse. I'm not missing.
And she didn't. And then Falvey came up with a single. Just one away for Sacco Ferry. And we see some activity. A couple of Bandits are up in their bullpen. It's like Kat Sandercock is one of them.
Well, it's just a good reminder for our audience about how much this series means between these two teams and how much game 1 of this series means.
In the pen. A diving attempt by Copeland, can't come up with it. And the Cascade have runners on second and third. Copeland, normally a pitcher, to put out in left field today with Dayton being unavailable. Had a long way to go and couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, you love the effort, but this is so risky as a left fielder. This ball gets by you. This is a big ballpark, turf outfield. You see this ball bounce and run away. And now Kendra Falvey, who's one of the fastest, maybe the fastest runner in this lineup for Cascade, she's at third base.
And still just 1 out. Sacco Ferry with her second double of the season. 3 straight hits off Kilfoyle. Kennedy Powell showing bunt. Trying to get a squeeze in. A lot of moving parts for the defense with her showing bunt. Kern and Williams playing well in. Swung away and that just goes foul. Portland with the lowest batting average in the league and also the lowest average. Big one for Kilfoyle.
Yeah, you just got to go back to your best stuff, and that's your drop ball. Let's go with the low heat, 68 miles an hour. You look at the movement and just perfect location away on the outside part of the plate.
3 strikeouts, 2 of them in this inning, and now Tori Vidalis, who is overdue for a big hit. And she got it. It's going to be a ground rule double. Dallas jumping on the first pitch in that at bat. And she plates 2.
I cannot stress enough how much Portland had to have something here with 2 outs. 2 runners on. You're facing Lexi Kilfoyle, who is one of the best arms in the league. And I love the fact that it's the veteran Tori Vidalis. Yes, she has been due. And it's just a matter of time. That ball is scorched down the line. And we have got ourselves a brand new ball game.
Bandits took a 6-0 lead in the top of this inning. But now 3 runs have crossed the plate on 4 hits, including a home run for Portland. Let's go down to Savannah.
If there is a day that I know Tori Vidalis is going to have a good one at the plate, it's when she's worked with her dad, Johnny Vidalis. He is in town. They hit together this morning. I was talking to her during BP, and she says, man, sometimes just when my dad is here, he can see things that nobody else can. He made one adjustment with her today. Just felt like she wasn't getting her shoulders and her hips around right, and said, hey, here's what I'm seeing. It's this right here. Try to pull your hands through. She goes, that's it. That's what's caused me to be struggling. When he's in town, she knows she is all set. And those are some of the results you see when the person who knows you best gets to do some one-on-one work with you.
That's almost too good to be true, right? When you have just one hitting session with your dad and you just see the fist bump for the veteran. She's coming into the dugout. I'm sure she's looking up into the stands like, that's why we had that session this morning. What a hit. And also I love the fact that she's a professional hitter, but there's nothing like having a little BP with Pops.
Johnny Vidalis helping out his little girl with the 2-run double. And now the pinch runner for Vidalis, who is all smiles, getting all the high fives. And the pinch runner is Sarah Willis, who was just activated. Pitcher on this squad. And a big situation now for Sinicki with 2 away. In the Bandit bullpen, we see Odyssey Alexander Bennett out there warming. A big hand for Sinicki. Got a bunt single her last time up. That was the first hit off Kilfoyle. Portland with 5 hits tonight, 4 of them in this inning. Pitch is really mounting up for Kilfoyle in this inning. Good job behind the plate by Jacopo to keep it in front of her. Bates looking on. That's Sinicki, who has replaced her at second. That's a base hit. They're waving Willis home with run number 4. Sinicki's 2 for 2 tonight.
Oh man, I have chills.
Sinicki coming back after the treatment 8 months ago, diagnosed with breast cancer, 8 rounds of chemo, some radiation, and still she's a baller.
And there is nothing like being back doing what you love to do and doing what you do best. I love the fact that we see some Oregon Duck fans in the crowd, and she's loving up her teammates. Her teammates are loving her right back. She is back with a clutch piece of hitting. Pam, Portland, I didn't know if they could come back with the hole that we saw them fall into in the first inning. They were down 5-0. But Sydney Stewart, Paige Sinicki, Tori Vidalis, they are right back in this inning.
28 pitches thrown by Kilfoyle in this inning. Again, coming in with a 0.60 ERA, best in the league. She had pitched just over 23 innings and had given up 2 earned runs all year. And here she is giving up 4 earned runs just in this inning as we welcome Odyssey Alexander Bennett back. Coming in to pitch her 4th game of the year as Kilfoyle exits.
And how gritty they were in that second time through the lineup against Lexi. And so Chicago kind of being forced to make a change. This is a must-win game for both of these ball clubs. And so it's why you're seeing the comeback starting to mount for Portland. And it's why you're seeing Chicago going, we need to protect this lead. What do we need to do? We need to make a pitching change.
Top of the order, Corby Otis is the 8th Cascade player to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Corby with a couple of ground outs against Kilfoyle. Chance for Wallace, throws across to end the inning, but what an inning it was for Portland as 4.
She is in her home state, and she is loved here in Oregon.
Played her first game on Tuesday, replacing Bates, who got hurt playing second base. And again, Paige coming back, battling breast cancer, diagnosed last November. And Sarah Willis, we just saw her pinch run, now she's pitching. And facing Morgan Zirkle, skies it. Short left field for Sacco Ferry.
Sarah Willis out of the reserve pool for Portland. I looked up and saw her, trotting out to the circle. And not to say that it caught me off guard a little bit, but Kelly Maxwell in relief was dealing. Gave up 2 back-to-back hits to the top of the lineup, Skylar Wallace and Sammy Williams with the RBI double. And I think it's just the diversity that Portland does have on their pitching staff. Started with Sam Landry at the righty, and then you go to the lefty and Kelly Maxwell, and you have Sarah Willis now on your roster. Well, let's use her. Throws hard down in the zone, has an elite changeup. That's kind of the pitch that she's known for. She'll throw that changeup early and often.
We got a glimpse of Sam Landry in the dugout. She only lasted 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 runs, all of them earned. And you mentioned Kelly Maxwell. She came in and did very well, 3 1/3 innings. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits. And this is Willis's debut this year in the circle. Remember her at UCF in college. Pitching to Mary Jacopo. And yes, she has changed the pronunciation of her last name this year. Iacopo is how we knew her in college. But she plays now for the Samoan national team and has gone back to the more traditional way of pronouncing her last name, which is like a Y sound, Jacopo. Same person, same name, different pronunciation.
Yes, and I was, here for it when she told us that that is what we were going to do. But I will say it took me a couple of times because I have called Mary's games for about a decade at this point, back when she was at Oregon and then, of course, at Texas. And so I had to really focus up, like, no, we got to say it the way she wants us to say it, and that is Jacopo.
She has been spectacular behind the plate.
Yes.
For them. Jocelyn Erickson also doing some catching, but mostly at first base because Copo, just an exceptional receiver, is great tutoring Erickson and all the other catchers around. And Willis is already being looked at out there. Yes, it's pronounced Jacopo.
Well, you can see that in this timeout, it looks like Sarah Willis, she's getting tended to on her fingers, but there was a timeout offensively. Mary Jacopo and Taylor McQuillan, who's on the injured reserve list, she's talking to Mary, and some of the coaching staff is out because Sarah Willis spent all of last season with Chicago. She was a pitcher out of the reserve pool for this team and started this second season in the AUSL with Utah. So this is a roster and a lineup that is very familiar with what Sarah Willis throws.
got patched up there. Kate Pinkerton is the athletic trainer, the head athletic trainer for the Cascade. And a full count now.
Well, this is going to be really something I'm keeping an eye on if that Band-Aid was on a finger, on her right hand.
Jacopo waited on it. Picked up nicely at third. A little short hop by Grant to retire Jacopo.
That was smooth. We know all about her offense, but it's fun to see Megan Grant show off her defense. She is such a utility player. We've seen her in the outfield. I watched her at UCLA play third base and first base. Yeah, she made that look easy.
Oh, 41 miles an hour.
She has the slowest changeup you will ever see.
Wow.
I've seen Sarah Willis throw her changeup in the 30s, 38, 39 miles an hour. That's how hard she pulls that string back, and you can see the spin. And so what does 48 make 67 look like? It makes it look like it's 75 miles an hour. And now do you go back to it? Do you go back to that changeup? Oh, man.
Copeland taps it back to Willis, who retires the Bandits in order in her first appearance for Portland this year. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. That is leading off against Odyssey Alexander Bennett. We got the final out of the fourth inning. Grant along with Maya Brady and Sammy Williams atop the leaderboard with 7 home runs apiece in this league. Megan 0 for 2, a couple of pop-ups.
She's been on base for 11 straight games. She has yet to reach here, and yeah, look at where the rookie is sitting, right behind Sammy Williams, who is there in frame, and of course Maya Brady.
Playable for Agbayani to lead off here in the fifth inning. Brady back after missing some time with an injury herself. Just an amazing all-around player for OKC. Grant is 0 for 3. Has been kept off the base path so far tonight. Cahalan has struck out twice. Did that against Kilfoyle, who went 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits and 4 runs. Portland going down 6-0 in this game, and only 4 times all year has Portland scored at least 5 runs in a game. The least potent offense in the league, average and run-wise. And it seemed like a big mountain to climb down 6-0, but they were able to come up with the 4-run fourth to make it a game.
To me, this is where the culture piece you can really lean on, because you get in a hole as big as Portland did in that first inning, down 5-0, and then later 6-0. You have to find a way to keep the vibes up and the energy up in the dugout when things are not going well, especially that early. And so you have to lean on that chemistry.
Inside pitch. Called for a strike.
It's a tough night for Cahalan. This is her 3rd strikeout. This one looking, and Odyssey Alexander just challenging up in tight. Righty on lefty. Just no room to miss, and she just sticks it.
Now Sydney Stewart trying to get something going. And Sammy Williams, solid as a rock over there at third base. Alexander Bennett has set down all 4 batters she has faced since coming in from the pen. We'll go to the 6th.
In particular, that she throws really well against the Bandits. They looked at the outing that she had on June 10th when she was playing for the Talons, threw 5 shutout innings, picked up the win, only gave up 2 hits against this lineup, had 4 Ks, just 3 walks. So they're looking for someone who can contribute in a lot of different ways and who has really had this team's number earlier in the season.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. That's a great point. That's why we have Savannah.
Savannah's all over it.
That's a great point, thinking about what Sarah Willis did against the Bandits, but it was on a different team. And that just tells you that it is go time for both of these squads. Any way that they can find the extra competitive edge, we're going to find it, even if it was looking back at a box score a couple of weeks ago.
And Willis added to the roster after Sis Bates was placed on the 7-day injured list. Taryn Kern leading things off in the 6th. Chicago starting that season 0-4, including getting swept 3 times in Utah in June. And the only time they've been shut out all year. Kern with a 2-run home run, part of that 5-run first inning. But since then, Portland pitchers, Kelly Maxwell and now Sarah Willis, keeping them pretty much in check. 3 of the last 4 innings, they have held Chicago hitless, which is a feat in and of itself with this very potent offense. Kern right through the 3-4 hole. Well, the Dallas thought about it for a second before retreating back to first base. Defensively, Kern has her 2nd hit of the night.
The athletes
well, this is the first leadoff that Chicago has had on base since that first inning when Skylar Wallace had a double to start the game. And so this is how you want to get back in it. Yes, they are still ahead, but it feels like the momentum is all in that Portland dugout. And for Chicago, they've got to find a way to get a little bit of that momentum back. You don't have to get it all, but you just need to chip into it.
And the crowd certainly has become much more engaged as well. Another sellout. They've sold out every game this year in Portland. Clements gets the bunt down, then the throw got away from Dallas, and that allows Kern to get over to third.
This, to me, is where Chicago shines. They get just a simple leadoff base hit, nothing fancy, and then you execute with the sacrifice bunt to perfection. And then you just add the speed that Jessica Clements has down the line that is constantly putting pressure on the defense. And what should be a pretty routine play, yes, it's just sacrifice bunt, but man, you do the little things right, it's where you are a separator. And this is gonna be fun here, Pam. We've got a 1st and 3rd, 9-hole in Ailana Agbayani up. This is a lot of chaos, a lot of speed.
Agbayani popped up trying to bunt last time up, but normally she is an excellent bunter. Clements credited with a bunt single, but then the throwing error by Willis. It allowed Kern to advance from 2nd to 3rd. 2nd error of the game for Portland. Agbayani backhanded nicely by Cahalan.
And Chicago is adamant that Agbayani was safe.
Now Now Kern staying put at third. And Clements at second.
This was good base running by Taryn Kern. Cahalan is having to hold a little bit.
The Bandits is challenging the out call at first base. The play's under further review.
So Agbayani staying over there at first, believing she was safe.
It's also worth noting, Agbayani, she touches the white base. She needs to be touching the orange base here. She's calling herself safe right away. The ball has to be in the back of the mitt. And you can see it there in the glove for Tori Vidalis. That ball is almost in the back of the mitt there. Ooh. I don't know if there's enough to overturn.
Yeah.
I think the call will hold.
And what a big call it will be. If she is called safe, it will be the bases loaded with nobody out and Skylar Wallace coming up.
After review, the corner field stands, runners out.
It was still productive, though, for Agbayani. Right, you move Jessica Clements into scoring position and you turn the bat over to the top of the lineup. Skylar Wallace, who is on fire.
So Chicago with no challenges remaining. Portland still with their 2. Nice play by Cahalan to backhand it and make the throw to get Agbayani, who runs so well.
Yeah, Kenley Cahalan, she has a very underrated arm. Had all the time to check back Taryn Kern at third base, not let her score, and then zip it across the diamond. I think Portland is going ahead to put Skylar Wallace here on first base. They're just not even going to mess around. They're going to load the bases. Yep, that's an intentional walk. You do not have to throw pitches in the AUSL. You can verbally give the walk signal. And so you're going to intentionally walk Skylar Wallace. I get it. You load the bases, have your defense with an easier play. She has 2 hits on the night already, but Sammy Williams has already broken the AUSL RBI record this season. And she's at the plate.
And she just tied the record for most doubles in a season in her last at bat. I don't know if you ever saw it. Sammy had a little bit of a smile on her face coming up to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 away for Williams. The best in the AUSL, both in overall average and with runners on base. The Bandits. Williams got under it. Fielded in short center by Falvey. Here comes the tag from Kern, and she beats it as the ball got away from Stewart. So another RBI for Williams on the sac fly. Chicago leading the league in sacrifice flies.
Kendra Falvey, she has a cannon out in center field. She gets behind this ball really well, so she has her momentum going into it. She's doing everything she can, but just too much speed from Taryn Kern.
Mac Barber up, 2 on, 2 out. Came on in the same situation in the 4th inning and grounded back to the pitcher, who was Kelly Maxwell at that time.
Love it. And that's the pitch that she got Sammy Williams to fly out on. Bases loaded, it was 1 out. you've got to do something to get an out. She goes to that changeup. That's how confident Sarah Willis is in that pitch.
Goes back to it, but that time it was off the plate.
Left the confidence, just the self-talk, looking around, making eye contact with her teammates. She was smiling when that ball left her hand. She wanted it.
2-2 to Barbara. Got her that time with one. So Willis ends the inning. Showing out and getting quite a show from this Cascade club that was down 6-0 before scratching their way back into it. Pam Ward, Kenzie Fowler, Savannah Collins joining you on a beautiful evening in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, look, what a way to make a first impression, right? A new expansion team. You're unsure because you've never played a game here, and what a welcome the city has given the Cascade.
Falvey leading things off against Alexander Bennett. Copeland reaching for it. Foul ball. Bree getting that start in left tonight. One-two on the way. Misses.
Ooh, that's a good angle. You can see how close Copeland was. Love the effort down in the corner. You love to see that, especially when you're the pitcher. Like you're working so hard in the circle, you have some foul balls and your teammates are laying it out. You're like, yes, thank you. Match my energy.
Odyssey Alexander Bennett pitching for the first time since June 16th. Copeland, a pitcher on this team. Versatile athlete playing left field tonight. Chicago a couple of players down.
Oh, we're gonna have a switch. Quick defensive shift.
All right, so Clements goes over to left and Copeland over to right.
Well, Bree Copeland, she's defensively in this lineup because Bella Dayton was not available. Bella Dayton is the everyday starter in left field for Chicago. And I'm looking down at the lineup and where Cascade is at. In their lineup, 3 straight lefties. And so Odyssey Alexander, she has a heavy dose of screwballs, likes to work away to those left-handed hitters. And it's why you're seeing foul balls continue to spray that side of the field. And so Chicago just quickly making that change. There's Bella. Wasn't feeling well earlier today, so she's just getting loose. Nice to see her with a smile in the dugout.
She looks revived. Falvey into deep left field, not playable, clears the wall. Falvey leading off the 6th with her first home run of the season.
What an at-bat. Big hugs for Kendra Falvey, her first of the season, and it was well earned. Well, I don't think her smile could be any bigger.
Yeah, what a night. A single in her last at-bat and scored. And Sis Bates gives her a high five with her healthy arm, and then the home run. And Portland down 2. Sacco Ferry doubled and scored in her last at bat, and Clements, the more experienced outfielder, shifted over to left, grabs that for the first out of the 6th.
Now batter number 1, Kennedy Powell.
Let's go back down to the field in Savannah.
Kendra, you were battling, fouling pitches off in that AB. You went from your slack to a full swing. What was that decision to go oppo with that ball?
Yeah, I mean, I've been going back and forth from slap to hit, and I just kept telling myself, trust it, trust it. Like, I was fouling off all of the changeups, and I was like, trust it, you know how to do this. And yeah, that was cool.
I heard Kinley Cahalan say, you told me you were going to hit a home run today. Is that true?
Yeah, at BP, I looked at Sis, and I go, I'm going to hit a home run today. I can feel it. So, manifesting at its finest.
She said it, and she did it, folks. Kendra Falvey. Thanks, Kendra.
Thank you. Go Cascade.
Clairvoyant, prescient, that Kendra Falvey.
We talked to her, and she has a superstition of eating pasta before every opening series, and she did eat pasta yesterday. So you eat your carbs, kids, and good things will happen.
Foul bunt attempt by Kennedy Powell. Looking for her first hit this evening. Falvey, the very good at bat. 6-pitch at bat. She fouled off 3. Alexander Bennett pitches in the at bat, and then went yard.
And in that at bat, there was the defensive switch for Chicago. So I don't know if she was thinking about this at all for Kendra Falvey, but it's like, you can make all the switches you want. I can hit it over your head too. Yeah. Like, just a little cat and mouse.
Skied out of play. 1-2 on the way to Powell. Punches out into left where Clements was playing relatively deep, but good outfielder made the play just in foul territory. Tori Vidalis was really scuffling until her batting session with her dad, who's in town. They hit today, and he found a little something in the swing that they tweaked. And Tori broke out of the slump with a 2-run double in her last at bat. Hits that one sharply off the glove of Wallace, who recovers, bounces. Taryn Kern could not come up with it. And Vidalis on base for the second straight at bat. Part of that's Williams over there at third.
Well, this ball was hit off of the bat from Tori Vidalis very sharply. And you could see the emotion of how much that hit meant to her, especially going off of that RBI double that she had in her last at-bat, like wanting to keep that going.
And that has been ruled an infield single, so 2 hits on the night for Vidalis. And now Paige Sinicki, a couple of singles, a bunt, and then an RBI single. Her first hits of the season. Sends that one a long way, but well foul. Another 1-2 pitch. Handled by Jacopo to keep Vidalis close to first. Carly Hoover has just made her way down to the Portland bullpen from the dugout. Hoover is projected to start in Game 3 on Sunday, which will have a 10 a.m. start.
I mean, I keep talking about it, how this series, the implications for both of these teams, it's so big. And so it's why you're seeing everyone get warm just in case.
There's Hoover.
These teams are 2-3 in the standings right now.
Williams reaches, but good at bat for Sinicki.
I know it's not the postseason yet, so the top 3 teams will make it to postseason, but this game, this first game of our series, it does feel like a playoff. It really does. It has that energy.
Both teams coming in 11-7 on the season, trailing the Talons in the standings, the defending champs. Chicago swept a 2-game series against the Cascade in Chicago earlier this year. Shonda Stanton, first-year head coach. 8th pitch of the at-bat on the way to Sinicki. And pitch number 9 is sent into the gap. 3rd hit of the game for Sinicki. Here comes Vidalis. RBI triple for Paige Sinicki. And the great comeback story continues.
It is fun to see her in the lineup again. Look at her. Let's get this crowd going.
She is the tying run over there at 3rd in her first series back as she recovers from treatment for breast cancer. Playing second base for Sis Bates, contributing at the plate. She's 3 for 3 tonight.
And she has her ball club right back in this ball game. This is her 2nd RBI of the night. Pam, you said it, 3 for 3. She had a bunt single, an RBI single, and now an RBI triple. She has not been with the team all season. Didn't participate in preseason training camp. Just returned back from beating cancer in this lineup, and she's ready to go. I love it, the little heart hands. I mean, how happy do you think she is to be out there? Like, this is where I belong. This is what I do best.
Must be a pretty surreal feeling as the Bandits have gone to their pen to get Kat Sandercock, the 3rd pitcher of the night, against a Portland squad that has been struggling offensively. This is only the 3rd time they have scored at least 6 runs in a game. The last time coming June 27th at Texas.
Okay, so Chicago is going to their ace 1, ace 2 between Lexi Kilfoyle and Kat Sandercock. So you're going to another projected starter because you've got 1 run to protect.
Sandercock with great numbers since she came back from playing pro in Japan. Projected to start tomorrow afternoon, where we will have a 2 o'clock local time start. But again, a sellout crowd, and they're just not filling seats. They are energized.
Yeah, I've seen this crowd on TV, and I could not wait to get up here in the booth, and I'm just looking out and taking it all in. There's signs everywhere. There's jerseys everywhere. Everyone has the merch. Seen some Oregon merch as well, repping Paige Sinicki. These fans are bought in.
And meanwhile, Bella Dayton has entered the game and is playing left field for the Bandits. Originally, we were told she was unavailable because she was not feeling well today, but we saw her in the dugout. Kern squeezes the Otis liner to end the inning, but 2 runs cross the plate. Portland gets to within 7 straight, but Paige Sinicki and the rest of her Cascade teammates have hung in there, and they keep fighting back. Zirkle leads off the 7th inning, and you knew she's going for a triple the whole way with her speed.
First pitch.
Her 3rd triple of the season.
Just ready to go and on time. And it wasn't the hardest hit triple that we've seen from Morgan Zirkle, but it found the gap. And with the speed that she has, she sees that gap wide open. Yeah, that's an easy 3-bagger.
Yeah, and once it got to the wall, it was all over, and she was thinking that all the way. Now Jacopo, who has walked in her 3 plate appearances. Short right field. Otis! But the throw home, Zirkle still tagging up, even though Otis was playing very shallow.
Wow. Pam, remember, Chicago is out of their challenges. What a throw, what a tag by Sydney Stewart. Morgan Zirkle, she's going to go every single time. She's going to push it with her speed, and this could not be a more perfect throw and tag. And she gets her. Sydney Stewart, her glove, she got under the foot.
And now Bella Dayton, who replaced Bree Copeland in left field, hits for the first time tonight. Bella coming in with a 6-game hitting streak. Was waved at that change. Just nicked it to stay alive.
Did you swing on that one, on that changeup? Did she get you too?
No, I would just go back to the dugout and cry, I think. There's no way.
You see Bella Dayton go into her slap. Slappers do have a little bit of an advantage on that changeup because their hands are just naturally back while their legs are gone. You just kind of throw your barrel at it even though you're not in the perfect hitting position.
Just missed this crowd.
This crowd is stressed.
Oof.
They're loving it, but they're stressed. See? Yeah, they're feeling it.
Willis, great piece of hitting. Just reaching her bat out on an 0-2 count to get the 2-out double. Toughing it out, originally was in the starting lineup, then was a late scratch, but she wasn't feeling well, came into play left field, and now comes up and gets herself a double.
And this is what I'm talking about with the changeup to slappers. You can see Bella Dayton, yes, it catches her. She's got a little bit of a lunge, but her hands stay back and she can throw her barrel. If you are throwing a changeup to a slapper like Bella Dayton, it needs to be around her shoes in the dirt. So that way her barrel can't get extended to it. It's just kind of the dangerous game that you play when you're throwing an off-speed pitch with 2 strikes to a slap hitter. And we did see Carly Hoover for Portland warming up the last inning, and I'm kind of waiting to see if Portland will go to their ace. There she is in right field still. I would go to her right now if she's ready.
Yeah, 2 outs, a runner on second. Hoover, as you mentioned, leading the team in ERA. 3-0 on the season. Projected to start game 3 Sunday morning, but they're sticking with Willis, who is facing Kern for the second time. Kern singled off of her, and they met earlier in the game. Another gapper. That's going to score Dayton easily. And another triple in the inning? Yes. Kern slides in. Her 3rd hit of the night. In her first game, her first start since June 28th.
And Taryn Kern, she is toes on the chalk, sitting on that changeup. 2 triples in an inning. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And so for Chicago, they're probably thinking, we hit 2 triples in an inning. We better score 1 run. The first run did not score because of that amazing defensive play from Corby Otis. But this is a team that is well balanced with their average, their power, and of course their speed.
And Zirkle thrown out on a short fly ball by Otis after she had tripled. Chicago gets a run back. And now we're going to see Hoover. And you already mentioned, actually, you said off air at the beginning of the inning you would have gone with Hoover. And then you would have gone with Hoover before Kern. And now they're going to Hoover.
That's too late for me. I wanted to see her start the 7th inning. She's the ace. This is a 1-run ball game going into the 7th inning. And now, of course, Chicago seeing Sarah Willis for the 2nd time. 3 hits, 3 extra base hits.
And Hoover coming off a great outing on Wednesday.
And this is what she brings. This is one of the most veteran arms in the game. Carly Hoover, she'll throw it up there 70 miles an hour, and she paints her location like nobody's business. And she's got some emotion behind it, one of their leaders in the circle. And Pam, to me, when you are 1 run away and you are the home team and your home crowd, you have the later half of this game, you have the momentum. I would have loved to have seen Carly Hoover start this game. Or excuse me, start this inning. Start the 7th inning.
You see the numbers for Carly. He's been the most effective pitcher on this staff this year. And on Wednesday, with the 11 strikeouts, joining Montana Fouts as the only pitcher in the regular season history of this league to have 11 or more Ks. Montana had a 12 strikeout game in mid-June this year.
Look at what Carly Hoover has done against the tough bats in this league. Lexi Kilfoyle was the starter for Chicago. Credit Portland. They got after her a little bit in their 2nd at-bat through the lineup, but Lexi was in control the first couple of innings.
So Hoover comes in to face Clements with Kern over at third. Kern with a single, a triple, and a home run tonight. And Hoover trying to keep it a 2-run game. Last one in at 70.
This would be so huge for Chicago. That runner at third base, he has 2 outs, but Jessica Clements, she had that bunt single in her last at bat. They could find a way to get Taryn Kern in for just some extra insurance.
Defense playing in. Single for Clements came in the 6th inning off Willis. It was a bunt single. Missed the plate. Now a full count with Kern over at third. And a high strike. Clements can't believe it, but Hoover gets him out of the inning and strands Kern. And Grant leads it off for Portland against Sandercock, who came in to get the last out of the 6th inning and stays in. And Grant leads off with a solid single. We're not used to that. She now has 12 hits, 7 of them home runs. And exactly what they needed to get the lead off on.
And it took until her last at bat, but she is on base, which continues that streak for the rookie. 12 straight games on base.
That is the best in the league this year. Cahalan's had a rough night. She has struck out all 3 times. Lexi Kilfoyle got her once. Odyssey Alexander Bennett twice. And now she's facing Sandercock. Oh-2 pitch. On the ground, Wallace bobbled it. They just get one out.
One thing about Kat Sandercock is she is a ground ball specialist, very similar in the same fashion that Lexi Kilfoyle is. Loves to work her best pitch, which is that drop ball. Skylar Wallace would have loved a double play right there.
Now Sydney Stewart, who homered off Alexander Bennett. Back in the 4-run 4th inning that got Portland back in this game after they fell behind. Stewart! Good contact, but handled by Zirkle.
She couldn't have hit it any harder. All the high fives from her teammates just squared it up. The crowd was wanting it so bad, but Morgan Zirkle running it down.
2 away for Falby, who hit her first home run and her last at bat. Sandercock Underhands it to end the game. And the Bandits just hang on. Their winning streak goes to 8 in a row. But what a scrappy comeback by Portland.
Yeah, and for Chicago, they had that huge first inning, right? 5 runs, and Portland is trying to make something of this game in the middle half of the game, but then Chicago answers, and so they scored early, and they scored late, and they held on in the middle.
So